What is going on, Nitro Gang? Welcome to another all new, all awesome Saturday Nitro Gang Live. Now, this is a follow up to yesterday's live stream on this old school, rare, top dog modified, factory upgraded HPI Nitro RS4 Racer 2. Now, if you guys did not happen to join me yesterday, and you're wondering, why do I sound different than I normally do? That's because I'm sick. I have a cold. I have almost nearly lost my voice. But you know what? I did not lose, everybody. I did not lose the desire to make another Nitro great again. So let me say hello to everyone that is here, and I will go over some of these possible engine options. I think if you're a Traxxas hater, you might be an HPI lover, and that's okay. You're allowed to have your opinion. We got ourselves Mike Neves here. How you doing, bro? If you guys haven't seen today's video, go check out the video. We took Mike's 6-speed baby Ford Focus RS out and hit the turbo in the tunnel. Thank you for being a long-term channel member right there, my dude Mike. He goes, Nitro Gang, we here. We got Lotus RC here, Cool D32, John Hensley, Jason Zoltan, Lotus 420, GG Woods, Justin, All Aspects RC, RPM Nitro, Native Nitro, my buddy Benjamin Martinez, and of course, Nitro Gang Queen Melissa. The rest of you will eventually, hopefully, make it. This is a follow-up to yesterday's important conversation. What the hell should I replace this destroyed 3.3 with? Rather 2.5, correction, 2.5. RC Show Off is here. We also got Texas Hill. Now, I was in a nice little conversation yesterday with Texas Hill through email. He told me pick up a GS Racing engine. And in fact, I already have one of those. But I don't know. I'm feeling like we out there probably want to see a lifesaver, and that is the 3.3 in an HPI chassis. I'm just feeling like we need a little bit of a lifesaver candy right now. Okay, next color up is red. Who here goes for the red, baby? We go for the red. Or the green, it doesn't really matter. Whatever one comes out of there, as long as it's not grape, okay? I'm not in the grape, bro. All right. Benjamin Martinez has been a member of the Make Nitro Great Again top level tier for 37 months. I appreciate it, bro. That's a long time we've known each other. And it's been fun and worth it and very ethical and productive. Okay? Penguin Cowboy, how are you, man? He goes, that engine might be on engine support. It might as well be, bro. So I've thought about what to do with this chassis. Andrew Surrey, how are you, man? Sorry I keep interrupting what I'm saying, guys. You know, my throat not doing too good. I just drank a bunch of hot tea, sweating my face off over here. But listen, nitros have to get fixed one way or another. I either do it off video or I do it here with the hand. Rock and Roller, how you doing, bro? So let me show you a little bit of a catch-up of what happened from previous, well, from yesterday, rather. RS4 Racer 2, this was a 2000 kit version. It came relatively highly modified. Now, the word that they used back then, I'm giving you guys a little update on it, all right? So some of it might seem repetitive. RS4 Racer 2 came factory with this carbon fiber upper deck. It came factory with that enormous carbon disc brake. As you know, the regular RS4 just had a small little plastic disc brake. This one is way, way up there. We have a unique handle on this as well right there. Very, very unique handle. The RS4 regular model had a different handle. This is not the correct fuel tank, unfortunately. RS4 Racer 2 would have had a primerless fuel tank. We also have unique springs front and rear. You can tell the colors. Therefore, they are tuned for the road conditions HPI wants you to run them in, which is any sickening flat road, of course. We have adjustable turnbuckles, front and rear, and we also have MIP shiny CVDs front and rear. So this was a very high factory hopped up model of the RS4 2 at the time, and you had to build it. Now the engine it came with when I purchased it, right? I'll give you an update. You could take a look inside over there. Mike goes, does it have dog bones? So I have it laid out really nice, but I'll show it to you, bro. This does not have dog bones. This has, let me roll it back. You could see right there, those are shiny CVDs right over there. I mean, I'll show it to you later, but basically there's MIP, the brand MIP, the brand that makes awesome tools. They also made very good drive shafts. How you doing there, Corey? Mikitowicz. Been a long time since I said your full username, but today I'm feeling a little special. Nitro Addiction, how are you? Rory Holler, happy to see you all here. My sickening, awesome channel members and buddies in real life as well. Whether it's Facebook, whether it's phone calls, whether it's advice on what engine to put in, which I always appreciate. Now, I was talking to my buddy today, Benjamin Martinez, about this particular engine, the Traxxas 2.5, that I took out from this highly destroyed rare HPI. Mark, no man, I'm actually worse today, bro. You hear my voice? It's real bad. I'm sounding like Danny DeVito. Okay, in fact, I'm watching Renaissance Man right now. After the stream is over, I'm gonna go back to watching Renaissance Man. Danny DeVito, baby. That's the one where he climbed that big ass victory tower. He should have fallen, but he didn't fall. It's a mystery how come he didn't fall. It must have been someone else doing it. So 2.5, him and I were talking about, I have never seen a piston be this high up in the sleeve. You guys ever seen a piston get this high up? Usually it's significantly lower. Now, Ben mentioned it's possible that when there was shrapnel in there, because, you know, I do not see the other portion of that connecting rod. Literally a small amount of shrapnel there in the engine. And it's a good amount of oil. So, like, I didn't add any oil. Obviously, it was already destroyed. I didn't add any oil. He said it's possible, and we could have a little discussion about this maybe. It's possible that the broken shrapnel lodged itself up and pushed the piston even higher somehow through an impact or, let's say, a rebound, recoil effect, and it lodged this piston even higher than it should have been. Either way, this is totally destroyed. I'm not even going to really try removing this piston right now. It's probably gone. The sleeve might actually be... Nah, it's gone. There's no way. There's no way that this could be that high. It's not possible. So let's get to engine options, everybody. Engine options. Yesterday, when we had the stream, there were, I would say it was split about 50-50. You guys want a lifesaver? I'm just curious. You want a little lifesaver? Or I'm going to have a little lifesaver. Okay, my throat killing me right now. Special thanks to John Hensley for mailing this to me in the mail today. He sent me a little bit of another gift. I'm not ready to reveal what the gift is, but I'm ready to have a sickening lifesaver. That's right. We all need one. How you doing, Oscar Oquendo, man? You know, there's no funny business going on. It's just like a hand with a lifesaver on it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have to throw this RS4 to a lifesaver. There we go. Ah, damn. Next one is grape. Sickening. I'm not a grape fan, but we're going to throw it a lifesaver, okay? Question is, I've went over my RC engine collection, and this is a top dog contender. Yesterday, people were asking, what about a 3.3? This is basically close to a .21, obviously in a small block size. How you doing there, HPI Savage Man? Happy to see you here, bro. And the other engine for consideration I have is this HPI T15 on the right side. Now, this one seems to have a very good clutch bell assembly, a very good clutch. I don't see anything obviously wrong. Now, there are a couple issues with it. Issue number one, pretty much every T15 I've ever gotten, bros, has been bad. Now, you tell me here in the stream chat How you doing there? Compass, happy to see you here, man. And Cayman Jack here. Hamburger Helper Hand, that might be it, man. Andrew Surrey goes, go with the HPI. So I'm going to lay out the pros and cons of each, guys. I'm not 100% sure yet. I will tell you which one I'm leaning towards. And the one I'm leaning towards happens to be, which one do you think it is? I don't want to give you a preconceived, idea of which one it is. But which one do you think it is? T15, and I will say Pizza Nitro goes 3.3. I will say the T15 over the years, I have, in my purchasing adventures, I have never come across a good one. It just has never happened. Jose Velasquez, how you doing, man? He goes, what's up, Nitro Gang? Cool D32 goes 3.3 for life. Okay, Lotus 420 goes Revo Ron. That might be what's going down. Geomac, how are you, man? So, Terra Curry, happy to see you here, bro. I'm happy to be able to bring you guys the second part of this. Oftentimes, things are just kind of left hanging. But we're going to continue with this project because the resurrection has to happen. Christmas is almost near. And this RS4 Racer 2 has a lifesaver right over there. So yes, we do have a 2-speed on this one. Obviously, I will have to reuse. I have the 2-speed clutch bell separately right here. It's in a parts area. So the issue with this particular engine install, this particular chassis is already set up to ride the slide, to set up to use the slide carb. I'm going to have to re-engineer the linkage if I want to use the rotary carb, right? So that's issue number 1, is the carb linkage. Issue number 2, we have, well, it's kind of halfway seized, but like that's probably just because they used really bad old castor oil. This one seems to have average compression for a T15, which, in my opinion, average compression for a T15 is really bad. Roto Start is a good feature. I do like it on these models. They have pretty easy access to the Roto Start. We also have side exhaust. That's a massive, massive issue in this particular case. The reason is, you guys could see, I'm going to give you a different view of the car from this area. So other than Vintage Nitro World, how are you, man? These are pretty good looking engines. I will say these cooling heads are some of the best HPI ever made. Like, forget about this, it's obviously damaged. But these particular looking cooling heads, they give the word cooling head a different meaning. It's cool and it cools. Get it? NASCAR body, pretty nice, Corey. You're right. People always love these NASCAR shells. And so do I. Why wouldn't you? Now, side exhaust header. We went over this yesterday, and I basically was shopping for a side exhaust header for this RS4 chassis, and it's pretty tough to get. They're about like $45 and usually used condition, which means not good condition, usually quite bad. They need to be cleaned, painted, stuff like that. There's the 2-speed clutch belt, by the way, in case you guys were wondering where it was. There it is. I'm pointing to it with my finger. Now, as you could see, this particular chassis was set up to run, it appears to be a Nitro Slash or a Rustler exhaust. So basically, it will fit any 3.3 or 2.5 rear exhaust. So, if I go with a Traxxas engine, I am completely simplifying this setup. Now, HPI Savage, a good suggestion. He goes, you can try the Traxxas 4-Tech header. So I'm assuming you're referring to the Pro 15, the side exhaust Pro 15 header. Voodoo Trucking, how are you, man? And my buddy RC Adventures. So the thing is, the 4-Tech header, it's not a 180-degree header. You still need that rubber grommet, and it doesn't look too good. It's not a complete solid header. That's the thing. If you guys look it up, it's not a 180-degree header. It's basically a 90-degree header, and you need more than that. You need 180 degrees on these. You got over 70 viewers here. Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to fire up this Nitro. I'm quite sick, everybody. So yeah, the .15 header from the 4-Tech guys, I want you to know, as Andrew Surrey here says, it will not work. Because what happens is, if you have the engine positioned in this manner, I'm going to just hand position it, just for reference range, right? The header is positioned here. Here's the exhaust. You need it to do 180 degrees. All right? Not 90 degrees. It's just not going to work. JWRC, how are you, bro? Not going to work. I've thought about it. I think you guys want me to create another poll. Now, listen, I'm not guaranteeing that I'll do what the poll says. The poll is just a show of interest. Should we go with the 3.3 install? And I propose we actually check this 3.3 out because, as you could tell, it's also been used. This is here. Quick quiz, everybody. What header is this for? This is obviously for a Traxxas, but which header is this? Which model is this for? So I will check out the internals of this. The compression seems okay. It's not locked up. Eric Spiny and Lotus 420, the first two that got it correct. This is from a T-Max 3.3. Andrew Surrey, we could talk later, man. If you want to email me, it'd be nice to have that header for, like, you know, other projects or this or something like that. My YouTube username at hotmail.com. And we could help make a Nitro great again. Get it? Again squared. I think as it sits right now, probably the 3.3 would not be a bad idea. Just Joe finally here. I knew he would say go the HPI. Now, he knows me pretty well, and he knows I like to keep things original. I'm also not convinced this is a good engine. This I got as a parts engine as well, right? So technically, just because I probably might get a header, it doesn't mean this is going to be good. The other thing is, it's already set up with these HPI small block engine mounts to run with the setup and linkage of the Traxxas engine. How you doing there, Grizzly man? Happy to see you here. So I'm just going to hold them up back to back. They do appear to be different flywheels. I think I'm going to have to swap them. This is a proper Traxxas flywheel. This appears to not be a Traxxas flywheel. It's also slightly incorrectly assembled. But, you know, it doesn't mean this is going to be the final element of this chassis. But for now, I'm thinking, let's examine the components of the 3.3 as it sits here, because this is also a used engine, and it might be not the best as well. Rockin' Coop, how are you, man? Let's remove the header, because this header is basically useless at this point if I attempt to go with the other engine. Sorry for that vibration, everybody. Well, sick gang over here. Wrong screw. So this header is basically useless. It's a T-Max header. It's pretty unlikely that you wind up breaking T-Max headers. The Revo header is usually the one you wind up breaking. If you jump Revos and the body's incorrectly mounted a little bit, what can easily happen is the Revo header will snap over here, where it's basically, you know, the exhaust port ends. So first thing, I just want to check this engine out. You know, and this doesn't mean, you know, eventually when I do get a proper header, oh yeah, that port is dirty. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. It just means it was run a lot. But there's a good amount of oil on the port in general. Let's take a look on the inside a little bit before I remove anything. It looks normal. I don't see any massive scoring on it. Let me get a little bit of a better light setup on there for you, bros. It looks normal. I don't see any massive scoring on the piston through the exhaust port. The sleeve looks, from what I can tell, average. And there's a good amount of oil in there. What do you guys think? I'm going to try to spin it over. We have a good amount of compression. Compression is real good. We okay with this, everybody? Oh, yeah. That's real high zoom level right there. That's zoom to infinity and beyond. You could see that port. Looks okay. Minor cross hatching. Piston looks normal. As John Hensley says, this is going to be a fire in the hole eventually one day. The carb itself, let me check out the carb. It looks normal. So I'm thinking let's remove the flywheel and swap the components out. What do you guys think? Now, I understand this might not be everybody's top pick, but you know, this car, I bought it with a Traxxas engine, and we'll try to keep it that way. In fact, this could be an interesting topic. HPI man, thank you for stopping by. See you later, bro. Okay, keep making sickening nitros great again on your channel, man. You're one of the best up-and-coming YouTubers there are. And I have no doubt you will only get better, like this HPI right here. Okay? What crack? We have a crack? Let me show you here, right here. Who said what crack? There's a crack? What crack you talking about? In the piston? What crack you talking about? I'm gonna wait right here. I'm gonna look at the comments again. So if anybody saw a crack, what crack are you talking about? I mean, we have good compression. I don't know what crack we're all talking about. It's not on the block. The block looks fine. Looks normal. Compression is okay. I'm looking at the comments. What crack are we talking about? I didn't see any crack. Well, that might explain why this is a parts engine. But where the bolts go in? Okay. Where the bolts go in? Nah, it looks fine. K-Man Jack goes, the Racer 2 deserves an HPI engine. I agree with you, man. But, you know, with these old cars... Oh, there's a crack where the bolts go in? It looks fine. It's just dirty. Top of the exhaust? Okay, so people are saying there's a crack where the bolts go in by the exhaust. So you got perfectly high zoom right now. That's not a crack. That's just dirt. That's just caked up oil. It's not a crack. It looks fine. Damn, that is some clear HD zoom right there. Could I get a hell yeah for that, please? That would be nice. It looks fine. I think somebody should do a statement of retraction. We got any retractors? Mike Pavine, thank you, man. All right. I think I'm going to start off with disassembling this part and assembling the other flywheel on. It might actually not be necessary. I might get away with this. What do you guys think? Should I just... Michael Sucha, how you doing? So basically, positioning is very important. What I'm going to do, I'm going to match him up flywheel to flywheel. You know what? It looks the same. The spacing of the flywheel and where the bottom of the clutch crankcase is. Do we all agree or no? I'm holding it real still right there. So you could see where the engine case ends and the flywheel begins. The spacing is important because it's not adjustable. JP, how you doing, man? Happy Saturday to you. It's not adjustable. Also, the pilot nut of the clutch belt flywheel is the same. I'm thinking maybe just swap it directly. What do you think? I'm going to see if it fits with the setup first. It's probably a good idea to see a little light fall situation. It's okay, we're back. To see if it fits or not. So give me a little bit of space to work with over here. If it doesn't fit, it's no big deal. I'll just use something else. By the way, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. You know, wasn't going to fire up a stream today, but things have to get done. All right, first thing I'm going to do, take off the clutch shoes. Make sure you remember which way they're positioned. Stab myself with the clutch spring. Stab myself with the clutch spring, everybody. That thing came off real hardcore. We could check my blood sugar right now if we needed to. Sickening. Just stabbed myself pretty good. That thing came off because there was no screw. Oh, yuck. It's right, it's worth it. It's worth it. You saw it here, baby. You saw it here. Sick. We got a bleeder. It's literally sweat and blood for the 2-speed baby here, huh? Next one, I'm going to take off with pliers. That's much safer. Well, you know what? I'm going to leave this on. Sickening. I'll leave that on. I'm going to put this on just so I don't forget which position it's on. In. So it should go this position. Now I'm going to duplicate the bottom. Should go that position. I will tell you, these clutch springs are hella strong. Oh, blood's still coming out? Yep. Yep. Still there. Yo, Melissa, we got a bleeder over here. Thanks, John Hensley, bro. We got a bleeder. What? Melissa, we got a bleeder. I stabbed myself with a clutch spring. We got alcohol or anything? Give me alcohol or a shot of vodka. I don't know. Sickening. Thanks, John Hensley, man. Where did I put the clutch spring? Oh, no, right here. So let me insert this. Sickening. These are the correct RS4 2 clutch shoes, by the way. But you guys see how there is... The spring is a 90-degree bend. It's supposed to slot into a correct pilot nut. This one is not the correct one, but I think it's going to still be in position. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. Gotta be careful. This spring tries to attack you. The spring is an attacker. Let me get this one. Yeah, these springs are trying to take a brother out. This is not the correct pilot nut, but I'm going to get it in. It's going to go in. Don't worry about it, bros. You see that spring obviously has to sit in the groove. But we're going to get it. Yeah, there we go. I see a problem already. I think I see a problem. Anybody want to tell me what problem they see with this flywheel compared to the old one? Anybody want to tell me? I think I have to swap flywheels. I'm going to line them up side by side. There's a big problemo. Go ahead. Short nubs. Correct. Pins are shorter. Goes Lotus 420. Yeah. So the Traxxas flywheel, you could see the clutch doesn't actually go all the way to the end. Well, I mean, the pin doesn't go all the way. On the left, the pin sits evenly. You really need it to sit evenly. I mean, I could probably get away with this, but we probably need to do a swap-a-roo. That's right, RC Adventures. We need to do a swap-a-roo. Definitely had a bleeder there before. All right, so we got to do a swap-a-roo. That's pretty much how it has to go now. You know what? I'm not going to touch that pin anymore. I'm going to have to do this. Sickening. What just went down? All right. These are off. I got the springs. I got the shoes. Thank you guys for joining me here today. This is one of those kind of tedious things. hoping I don't need to heat this up. Let me get some pliers. All right. If you guys haven't given this video a like yet, please do. Who else do you see that bleeds during their streams?
I don't know where put the RS4.
Okay, I don't need it. It's fine. I don't need it. I'm just gonna sit like this. I can't put a band-aid on it. I need to feel the nitro. Melissa got me a band-aid here, but like I need to feel the nitro.
At least clean it up.
It's clean.
Oh, it's not.
It's fine. Thank you. All right, let's do this. Damn, that thing is tight. I need to open up the pipe wrench more. Shit. The blood is going down. If this don't work, I'll get a torch. Okay, we got it. Oh, we got it. It's fine. Yeah, there was a ton of thread lock over there. You see that, everybody? Yeah, adjustable, whatever it is. Yeah. I don't know. Got blood all over my fingers. Ton of thread lock on that. Some would say way too much. Now this is going to be a tough part. I'm going to have to hammer this out. There we go. Came right off. Traxxas flywheel. So this is the old stuff. We're not using that. I'm going to put it to the side. I'm going to clean up that engine a little bit. You guys enjoying the stream. We got blood. We got nitro engines. We got me that's sick. I do it all. Okay. And clean up the crankshaft. Looks pretty normal. I mean, it could be worse. It looks okay. Collet is still there. Who knows? It might not even be the same collet. I'm going to have to check the collet on that other engine too. Okay. Let's take off these parts. These are spacers. I need them. Spacers and the pretty awesome bearings that you need to get if you do a needle bearing swap. I'm gonna put that to the side. That's for the clutch belt. We'll get it back later. All right, time to remove this pilot nut. Nope, not the right one. Hold up a second. There we go. So I'm basically swapping clutches, right? Because the crankshafts are the same. Oh, that one was easy. Probably didn't even need the wrench for that. Yep, lack of thread lock on this particular crankshaft. I could see right there, the guy actually put in washers, it looks like, between the, maybe on or between the collet. I'm gonna check. Got it. Got it. Okay, so here is the one we need. What I'll do, I'll just put them next to the engine that we are swapping, and the old parts I'll put on the back. Okay, so we're swapping all this to this part. Let me clean up this flywheel. We'll take a look at the washers. It looks like for spacing concerns, yeah. This is what you call nitro busy work, you know? All right, so it looks like the old setup and engine spacing is very, very important. There's a big washer sitting right before the collet. So this would space the flywheel out a little more to give it proper clearance. I'm thinking we got to reuse that spacer. What do you guys think? Reuse the spacer or no? I'm going to let you all decide. Shane Nitro, my veins, how you doing, man? Yeah, we got nitro surgery. You missed it. I just stabbed myself. I was bleeding pretty bad over here. So RS4 Racer 2. I'm sick, man. So if you hear my voice, that's kind of like what it is. Trying to put in this Traxxas 3.3 into this RS4 Racer 2 because we had a dead engine. JP goes no spacer. So I'm worried that we might need the spacer. It's a pretty large spacer if you look at it. Right there. Before the collet. There's a reason why this guy put it in. I'm worried we need it. Thing is, I could assemble it without the spacer. Maybe it'll sit okay. Let me check out the collets themselves and hold it up to check out the positioning. So yeah, that would push. See, the thing is, on the left one, the original setup, it would push the collet out further. I don't happen to have a bigger collet. These are like basically standard Traxxas collets. Right? Yeah, they do have different collets. This one appears to be a good condition one. What do you guys think? Swapping the collet will replicate it 100% or what? Let me see what I can do. I'm thinking we should probably replicate it. Yeah. John Hensley, go swap it. Big Boys Toys, how are you, man? Happy Saturday to you. Jose Velasquez, do the swap job. I'm thinking if I just push on this, it'll probably... Yeah, that was easy. Yeah, it's no big deal. You see right there, just lifted it straight up. It's better to swap it totally, because at least we know for a fact that this this setup totally worked. Yeah, so we got two. These look like HPI washers, actually. Yeah, they look like HPI washers to me. I've used them before. I've bought them, actually, several times. Mighty Mike, how you doing? Yeah, I'm going to swap it out to that brass collet. So this one I'll remove. It might not come out. I might have to heat it up. I need something real sharp. Hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna fix this. Okay. Done, baby. Old collet come off. There we go. Monty Kriska, how you doing, bro? Don't worry, man. You're not late. There's plenty of time. I'll give you an update and everyone else who's here. This is the RS4 from yesterday's video. And as we all knew, the engine was toast. The connecting rod is busted. It's damaged. I have sourced a spare 3.3. It seems to be in okay condition. And right now, I am swapping over clutch belt components. That's what I'm doing right now. So let's assemble this one back the way it should have, well, it was. And we'll assemble the flywheel. Oh yeah, you also missed it. I stabbed myself in the finger pretty good. This is the old part. This is the flywheel nut. Oh, forgot the clutch. Flywheel. All right, so now we have some proper spacing. If this works, I'll eventually remove this and thread lock it. But for now, that should be okay. I'm going to tighten it up. And spacing-wise, we're just replicating it, you know? Give me a second there. I'm going to tighten it up here off video. Alright, it's really tight. Alright. Sometimes this is called the clutch bell nut or the pilot nut. The reason is it sits next to the clutch bell, or it's called the flywheel nut, pilot nut, or clutch nut. They're all basically the same things. Yeah, a lot of times when you run into swapping engines, the length of these flywheel pins will really be a determining factor. In this case, it's one of those factors. We're also going to have to move the throttle arm later on. All right, let me get the springs attached. If I remember correctly, it was positioned this way on the bottom, right? Yeah, it was probably positioned that way. I'm going to get them on. Give me a second here. Then we'll try to put the clutch bell back how it should be. And it'll basically be ready to test. Yep, Mighty Mike. Nothing wrong with a proper Traxxas engine. They're good. It's not original, but, you know, sometimes it's what it is. Okay. Much better positioning. You could see the flywheel pin is ending exactly where it has to be. It's not sticking out. And generally, this is not very awesome because you could see the spring does not have a groove in the pilot nut. But reality is, when the clutch bell sits on top, it's not going to have a place to go. You know? All right, so let's put on the second one. How you guys think I'm doing so far with the decision-making process over here? Just let me know. Let me know. I'm looking at your comments, everybody. No, this has to go this way. All right. So in this kind of installation, you know, there is some unknown. But what I'm trying to do is at least replicate the way this was. In awesome clarity. Okay, it's on. Almost on. Let me just push this one down. Done. As Jeff from Eastside RC says, tight and right. That's right, Jesus Valdez. Doing what I can with what we got. Compression is good. Next thing I'm going to do before I put this in, it's actually probably the best time to do this, is to make sure the throttle arm is in the same position. So using the old engine we removed as a reference point, the throttle arm should be basically pointing due north. Almost due north. If you looked at degrees, who knows how many degrees that is? It's about 350 degrees, not 360. 360 would be 12 o'clock. That would be north. So let's move the throttle arm. All right, so far that's moved. That's a good sign. We'll do about 350 degrees. There we go. Degrees matter. You see that? I'm thinking that's more like 340 degrees. Now we need to go a little more up. Jose Velasquez, bro, you can do any quote you want, man. You're a awesome channel member and supporter. You don't need permission from me, bro. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay. You can get it. That way it works. That's a great quote, in fact, actually, too. Cayman Jack, I promise I will eventually find a better engine for this. Maybe the 12 RSC, the Novarasi model. But for now, for testing, I would want to just check this 3.3. You know what I mean? I'm not saying this is going to be the final engine in it. But for now, it's going to be the test engine. Until I can find a side exhaust header, I have to use a rear exhaust engine. Do you see what I'm saying? Like for the time being. You know, that's kind of like how it has to be now. If I had a side exhaust header, I would have went with a G3.0. I'm sorry, a T3.0. I have a T3.0, a new one. I would have went with a T3.0, obviously, but based on the header setup, and the pipe is not bad. It's not like a plastic pipe. It's a pretty good pipe. I think this is going to be the good idea for now. All right, guys, let's do this. I'm going to install the starting components in the back, and then we'll put in the rest. We got the pull starter here. It's pretty clean. It doesn't need any cleaning. And the flywheel, the one-way bearing is here as well. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. So it's on the oily side, but all the needles do appear to be in position. We got close to 100 viewers here, guys. Thank you so much for your support throughout the years. Hopefully, this channel is making a positive difference. And I know it is, because at least once a day somebody leaves a comment from another part of the world saying, I'm out here in Denmark, I'm out here in Netherlands, I'm a German native running rich and loud. Thank you for your channel, man. And I'm happy to hear that kind of stuff. I am. Okay. This should be okay now, I think. I'm going to put it back on the shaft, make sure it spins the right direction. Good thing we already have, you see right there, there's a little washer. You got to have that little washer. Spins right. Okay. So under this kind of load, the one-way bearing can't even spin it. You see that? We got some average compression. One-way bearing is working, but obviously when it's exposed to the actual compression, it might slip. But for the time being, we're going to assemble the pull starter, and at least we'll have the assembly ready to go. Then we'll just worry about the front components. How you doing there, Integrity, man? There we go. I must say the Traxxas pull starter is quite good. And really not a crazy price. They're only like what, $19.99, 20 bucks. It's pretty tough to break a Traxxas pull starter cord as well too, I would say. Michael Riccardi, how are you, man? Michael Riccardi, I'm going to read this comment. And Dean35, how are you? Thank you to have you here, man. Yeah, I try to keep Nitro alive as much as we can, you know. So the question from Michael is, and I'm reading this in the chat right now, do you need a glow plug if you switch to a pull start? Okay, so you always need a glow plug. Every Nitro engine needs a glow plug. That is one of the fundamental items of a Nitro engine. Flubberlane, how are you? Happy Saturday to you, man. Regardless of which starting method you're using, pull starter, roto start, electric start, you still need ignition. there will always be a glow plug on top, well, inside the cooling head. Let's test it out. Okay, system works. I will say the cord needs to be a little bit cleaned. It doesn't go in 100% awesome. Yeah, okay. So it's a little bit oily on the inside. Maybe when it warms up, it'll be okay. Mark, Nitro Saturday's canceled. I'm hella sick, man. My voice is not doing too good. That's why we're working indoors today. Give me a second here, guys, and we're going to continue with the rest of the clutch bell assembly. Okay. So I got some of the clutch bell components here. I'm going to put them on the table. At this point, we don't really need any parts from this engine. Although I have not confirmed that the carb is good. The carb might be usable. The boot is actually in pretty good condition. So which leads me to believe this engine had pretty low run time on it. I'm going to take some of the parts that I know came from this clutch bell assembly. RPM, thank you, man. You know, just doing what I can to make one more Nitro drivable, rather. Now, the next part, it's gonna be test fit. We got the 2-speed clutch bell. Some of the parts already in there. I pretty much kept them in. There's no point in removing them. What I would like to do is clean the inside of the clutch bell. Always a good idea to clean the inside of the clutch bell. All right, it's better. There's a good amount of scoring, but nothing really, really crazy. All right, let's install it. Hopefully, when I put it on, we'll check in the car if it actually fits or not. If whatever, we'll use some shims. Okay, so good news so far. Clearance is normal. Clearance is normal so far. This is the original clutch bell, but it's been upgraded to modern bearings. All right, it's screw time. Let's hope for the best. What I'm going for here is proper spacing when we install it on the engine. That is going to be the priority. Proper spacing. All right, let's tighten it up. It's pretty tight. Let me make sure it spins. It spins beautiful. Very minimal amount of wobble. That's okay. That's not too bad. And yes, guys, this is the original clutch bell. Some of the more high-end clutch bells, you have pinions that are turned on, more like spun on. In this case, it's just a complete unit with upgraded bearings. Now, you know, a good test to determine whether you have bad bearings is if your clutch bell wobbles a crazy amount. This one you could see does not wobble. I'm going to take my fingers here, the non-bloody ones. It does not wobble a crazy amount. So that's a pretty good fit. And I mean, if things go okay, this might be a winner, man. Let me clean up that exhaust port. I don't like when the exhaust port is dirty. Although a lot of this stuff is so old, it won't really even clean up, so it's pretty much useless. But it's a little better, like 25% better, you know. All right, guys, are we ready to go inside the car? This is going to be the moment of truth, actually. This is, well, yeah, the moment of truth. What I am worried about, the way these engine mounts were installed is not the best. You could see the guy I got it from on the bottom drilled his own holes right there. Actually, not a very good job that he did. One, I'm not sure if this screw is stripped or it fell out. So we're running 3. Once I put the engine in, I will see if this is stripped or not. But basically, if this doesn't work, we got no gear mesh adjustment. That's why I was so hardcore on maintaining the correct spacing. You guys understand kind of like what my goal was now at this point or no? With the spacing. just because spacing here is actually key. All right. If the spacing is even a little bit off, well, it's going to have to be another engine. We're going to have to use the T15 then, if that's going to be the case. All right, guys, I'm going to put it on top, then we'll get the screws in, and I'll see if it even fits a little bit, you know. Lifesaver right there. I'm going to use lifesavers as body post holes. No funny business going on. This is the truth right here. No funny business. What's up, Wild Man Digging? How are you, man? Wild Man. Since you like digging, what's the deepest hole that humans have dug on this planet? I was just watching a documentary on it. It was a Russian borehole to explore what's on the inside of the Earth. And you know what they found? They didn't go that deep. That's what they found. And it's plugged up right now, I think, in Siberia. Okay. I think for now we don't need the air filter. No, definitely not 30 miles. No, definitely not 30 miles. Oh, direct fit, baby. I can Google it. Hold on, I'm going to Google it right now. Direct fit so far. I'm going to Google it right now. Google. Deepest man-made hole. Here we go. Oh, damn, you were right. 8 miles. Shit, I was wrong. Here's the answer. The Kola Super Deep Borehole, 40,000 feet. That's right, Pizza Nitro. I watched a documentary too. The deepest borehole ever made by man. Deepest borehole since 1979. 40 feet. So if you divide by 5,000, let's say, that's 8 miles. Kola Super Bore. Let's check out the Wikipedia on it. It's in Russia for sure. Oh, this is what we are against? What are you talking about with this yellow message? Yo, Wikipedia is free. Why are you asking people for money? Wikipedia. This is not YouTube. Let's see. So location, 2007. Yeah, Russia right here. I told you. Murmansk Oblast. Yep, I speak that language. This says Murmansk Oblast. Oblast means region. Super deep borehole, baby. What they found is to go any deeper, the drills just couldn't do it. So it was plugged up and welded shut right here. Borehole welded shut. This is the current condition of the borehole. Welded shut. That's all that's left of it. Sickening. Not going to happen to this RS4 though. Come on, guys. If you appreciate the facts, the knowledge, give me a hell yeah. All right, let's start working on the linkages. And, well, basically, just to see, oh, so far, we got ourselves gear mesh. I'm going to turn the engine in from the top. I don't mean turn, I mean put the screws in. My bad, bro. Okay, my bad. Got over 100 viewers here, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let me put the screws in. I'm quite convinced at least some of the screws in the engine mounts are stripped. All right. So let's just start putting them in a little bit. I hope, I for some reason think some of them are stripped. Well, we're about to find out if they go in or not. Okay, this one looks okay. That one looks like it's going in. I am not very happy with the way this was set up. But let's hope the screws do go in. At least we can get 3 of them in there. It'll position itself. Okay, this one found the hole. Very important in life to find holes. Like you see, they dug that borehole for a reason. JP, thank you, man. You know, I've worked on a lot of RS4s. I will tell you that. Okay, I see a minor issue maybe. Once I fit this, I'll discuss the minor issue. Anybody see a minor issue? Once this is screwed in, we'll know right away if it's messed up or not. But you'll see why I was extremely careful with spacing. All right, so far none of these screws appear bad. But I'm a little worried about spacing. It could be a problem. We'll do the exhaust in a little bit. Once I tighten these down, we'll have the true fit. Keep in mind, I did not move the bottom at all. Okay, so far the top screws, the holes themselves are not stripped. RPM Nitro goes, what about Diamond 19? That's not a bad idea, actually, in this case. Oh, damn. We got ourselves perfect gear mesh. I might have been incorrect. That's actually quite not terrible at all. It's a little bit short. But you know what? 3.3 is a fit, baby. So, as I said, guys, the gear mesh is not adjustable in this case because the guy drilled those engine mount screws in a fixed position. That's why I'm going really hardcore over not messing up the mount from the bottom, right? I don't know if this was like whatever happened, man, but from the top, these screws are okay. Which is very important because good luck getting those engine mounts. Those are the optional small block engine mounts for HPI. If you ever want to put in an aftermarket engine, you have to get those engine mounts, the ones that I'm using right there, those standoffs, right? Those engine mounts, you have to get it. So let's take a quick look here at the gear mesh. It's smooth. The gears do not overlap much. They don't seem to touch each other. I think this is adequate. This is not too bad. It's not a very powerful chassis, so, well, the engine actually a ton of power on this one compared to the stock one. I think it'll be a survivor. In the front, the overlay is more than 50% on the gears. I would personally like it a little bit closer, but there's no way you could adjust this at this point right now. You guys okay with this or what? With this gear mesh? Bros, I think we got ourselves success. This is a major success. Let me put in this throttle link. Ah, damn, that's where I stabbed myself. Okay. All right. You know what? Okay. We got ourselves a functional slide carb. Although I will say, no, it's okay. Carb does open all the way. I could see the opening. So we could use one more shim. That is correct right there. Someone just said, could I put more shims from JW? I would say one more shim on the inside would be useful to bring the clutch belt out more. So probably 2 Traxxas Teflon washers would be very useful. I would say, yeah, 2 Traxxas Teflon washers on the inside. But otherwise, it spins, it rolls. Well, when the brakes aren't applied. It's actually pretty good. All right, let's go to the other side. Connect. This is not a bad time to put the air filter on. Connect the fuel lines. Guys, I think this is a major success. I honestly didn't think it would go that smoothly. Yeah, I'm going to leave it alone for now. I got to eat this, bros. My throat hurts. Yeah, it's a good idea to test it before you really do anything crazy. Okay, so we got the fuel line from the bottom. And this, in this case, the carb is mounted a little bit differently. So the fuel inlet is there on top. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to trim this part. This is too open. If you run into old fuel lines, trim these parts. You could see over time, the fuel line kind of has a memory effect. Good question there from John Hensley. Is the body going to fit? You know what? Probably no, because this is a taller cooling head. It's all right. We'll trim that part out. That's no big deal. It's only going to be a little bit, you know, like wider. All right, now we got a good fresh tip over there. The tip is real fresh. The exhaust is okay. Let me attach this. Guys, I think the RS4 Racer 2 is ready for a fire up. Not today because I'm crazy sick. You know, moving this arm a little more down would not be a bad idea. Probably 350 degrees. No, 335 degrees. 335 degrees will be where it's at. All right, let's do the exhaust. Now, yes, I would have liked to have gone with an HPI engine, but, you know, this is not like the final countdown. This is not that band Europe final countdown. This is the middle countdown. This is like intermission before Rocky fought that, you know, the Russian guy. Dolph Lundgren. I think he had like heart valve surgery recently. Or some kind of surgery. I saw pictures of him on Instagram. Yeah, this engine's pretty beast. Keep in mind, guys, even though, you know, we have a lot of Traxxas engine haters, that's fine. This would have been a sickening engine for the time period. Think about it. Rear exhaust, slide carb, basically a 0.21. Yeah, it's fine. What did I say? Yeah, we got to do the fuel line. This is going to be real annoying with the fuel line. Let me get to it for a second, guys. I'm getting there, okay? Let me just get a tool here on the side I need. Okay. So I'll attach this. It's still a little long, but it's okay. Yeah, the old exhaust, the old fuel line inlet was positioned on the left side over here, not on the inside. This is T-Max positioning. What I'll do, I mean, for time, for now, no, it's not long enough. Doesn't really matter. Fuel line will flow. You could move this fuel nipple. I'm thinking, what do you think? Should I reposition it? You know what? I don't want to risk moving the plastic on the carb. This is the most annoying part right here. Especially because I stabbed my finger pretty hardcore. ERPM, this would be a proper fast car today. Ah, damn, I can't get it in. I should have put it in before. What do you think? Should I move the fuel line on the other way? It really would be perfect going this way. I'm going to see what you guys say. Should I move it? Michael Sucha wants to know, we're going to have to adjust the 2-speed. Gear mesh-wise, no. But I'm sure I'll have to adjust the 2-speed. You know, who knows how it was ran before. Okay. There we go. Moving it. Done. It's pretty tight. All right. So I moved the fuel line to the other side. You can see right there, it's still pretty tight. There's no stripped screws. Be really careful if you're doing that. Personally, I don't like when the fuel line goes right by the carb. It's annoying. Having it on this side also gives you a good amount of space if you want to put in a fuel filter. See that? Now we have a perfectly routed fuel line. Sickening or what? And it's basically set up, ready to go. Just need to get electronics in there. I could probably even check them today if I wanted to. But now I'm a little tired. I don't think I'm going to. So this model has pretty good servos. I could probably get it set up right now. Well, at least for testing. What do you guys think? Should I check the electronics for testing purposes only? I do have a GT5 radio set up ready to go. If I'm motivated, I'm doing, but I'm starting to cough over here. I think major success so far with the 3.3 install. The most important thing was not really which engine, it was getting it to fit correctly. That, in my opinion, was the most important part. All right, RPM says test it out. All right, let me go. Actually, I want to see if this will fit. It's obviously not going to be too good. Yeah, this cooling head is giant. It doesn't fit. But I think we could just trim that out in the future. It's already basically half cracked over here. I mean, we'll just have like a little hole. It's not the end of the world. It'll still be fine. All right, guys. I might as well go get the electronics. I'll be right back, all right? Don't let anybody surprise me while I'm gone now. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Any surprises going down? All right. I am back. We got the electronics right here. I'm gonna bind it to the GT5, all-time great radio. But John Hensley recently just got the GT5. He knows it is a top pick radio. You guys are gonna see me bind it. It's extremely simple. I think what I'll do first, I'll test out the wires from the power switch. We got the 3 power switch wires right here. I'm thinking this red one will be the power. Well, we'll know pretty much right away. We plug. Although you could also plug directly in. Max Paul, how you doing, man? That's right, Dale Earnhardt. Never forget Dale. Let's see if the power switch itself works. It might not work. So if I plug this in, oh, we got a flasher. That means our switch is working. All right, so I'm gonna hold bind and plug it in. It'll stop beeping, flashing rather. That's it. It's binded. Model memory 10. You see how easy that was? That was extremely easy, everybody. Australiano, how are you, bro? I'm sick today, so, you know, can't talk too excited. Okay, we could turn it off and now check the servos, plug them in as we normally would. Let me see which one is, this appears to be the steering servo. I'll plug it into channel 1. Throttle servo right here. Channel 2. And old RS4 is on the way to being resurrected. Let's plug it all in, check out whether we have any signs of life. What do you guys think is going to happen? Signs of life? Okay. Throttle servo is reversed. Steering is reversed. Damn, that is fast for an old servo. You know what I mean? All right, so radio channels are reversed. Channel 2, also going to reverse it. Boom, there we go. We got full throttle now. And brakes. Going to adjust the EPA because the EPA is too crazy. John Hensley, no problem, bro. Yeah, him and I were on a call the other day, and we were just talking about how easy the setup of this radio is. Steer right, steer left. It's a turner. All right, what I'm going to do now with the electronics the way they are right now, this isn't the official battery pack I'm going to use. This is just for now. I'm going to check out the carb opening under full throttle and brake. Okay, so the carb slides not all the way. We could adjust the linkage. The linkage is geometrically incorrect. Oh no, it does open all the way, but only when I give it full beans. The servo's kind of shit. So I'm thinking, first of all, the servo horn is not good. I see it's cracked on the other side. This needs a regular servo horn. This should be positioned closer to that direction. The reason is it's pulling it in the wrong, kind of diagonally. I could also turn the carb. Goes Lotus 420. Let me see if I have access to this. Yeah, so the thing is, it's kind of real annoying to get to this screw over here. That's kind of the problem. For me to turn the car, I have to take the engine out. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm really avoiding turning the carb. But yeah, we need to turn the carb. We need to position it this way. See, how could I easily do that? The problem is, you need like one of those long drivers to get to that without this getting in the way. I guess I could do it with pliers, but it won't be very good. What you guys, you want me to try to turn it with pliers to loosen it a little? I mean, I could try. Try it or no try it? All right, Texas Hill goes try it. I'm worried I won't be able to get this back in correctly. Let me see if I have that small little wrench. No, I don't have it right now. What we need is like a nut driver. Ben, Tony Ferrara, how you doing? I can't do a fire, bro. I'm cold. I mean, I'm sick. I'm sick. Can't go outside right now. Melissa will kill me. All right, I think I'm about to get it. All right. All right. Luckily, it wasn't that tight. I got it. What's up there, off the guy, man? Happy to see you here. Happy Saturday to you. Just installed this engine in the RS4 Racer 2. And now we are moving the carb. Okay. We got a mover. Move a little more. Okay. A little more. Okay. I'm going to tighten it down. I think that should be enough. I'm going to tighten it down. I'm pressing on the carb while I'm doing this, by the way, to make sure it's not sticking up at all. That should be fine. It's pretty tight. Okay. Let's turn it back around. Check out that linkage. And I'll adjust the EPA as needed. All right. You guys see that? The carb finally opens the way it should open. So that was an important lesson, actually, right there. Linkages on the carb have to be geometrically perfect. Let me see where I am on the EPA. EPA is normal, but I could see this is a little too closed. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove this servo horn for now. You guys with me on this or what? 420 Traxxas, man. Yeah, I went with a 3.3 because of the spacing on this engine and the fact that I already had the rear exhaust set up. For me to go to a HPI engine, I would need parts. That's the thing. So let me move this. I don't want to have to adjust the EPA. When your servo is in neutral, you should not have, basically when I press the throttle, you guys see how much the servo has to move until it opens up the carb? You could adjust that with trim, but you really shouldn't have to use trim to do that. That means the splines are not in the right position. Okay. Here, perfect. Now the servo is not stressing. There's no noise. And look, our idle gap is perfect. That right there is geometry at play. Leonardo da Vinci will be proud. Okay, Da Vinci, baby, Da Vinci. All right, so now we'll check opening. Very good. Servo goes a little too crazy. I'm going to lower the EPA. EPA too crazy. Brakes are not on. I'm also going to lower the brakes. Brakes work. Oh, man, the brakes are super strong. Oh, wow. All right, so I'm going to lower the EPA some. The reason is I don't want the EPA to go beyond, basically at this point, it's overstretching. So super easy to do. We'll go to right here, EPA, channel 2, left bound. I'm going to lower it to, we'll see where it starts to back off on the servo. Yeah, in this case, you literally only need, I'm going to do 60. You don't even need 60. You need 58% EPA. You see what I mean? Because at 58%, the carb opens all the way. Any more than that, and you're basically overstressing all this. These are like plastic servos, right? So 58% is what you want. Perfect. What about reverse? Brakes. I don't want that much either. I'm going to lower it to like 80. $75 EPA. That's it. Also, we're going to do the failsafe right now. Channel 2. Failsafe will be brakes at about 56, 7, whatever percent. It doesn't have to be 100. Boom. Now I'll turn off the radio. We'll see the brake supply. There you go. Solid, baby. Solid. All in one video. All in one video. What do you think about that? All right, next I got to think about wire management. So we're okay with the servos. We're okay with the carb. We're okay with the air filter. I gotta say, this project is coming along. If it wasn't cold and I wasn't sick, I would go fire this up right now. Yeah, yeah. All right, next up, John Hensley goes 2-speed baby. Hopefully, tomorrow if I'm feeling a little better, I'll give it a little shot. Now, I'm not a big fan of using these batteries actually on these cars. On a Savage, yes, you should use that. All right, sound is okay. Exhaust looks normal. I don't see anything really wrong with it. So I'm gonna have to get a AA battery holder for this. I do like them. This is like, you know, this chassis was designed for AA's. It really wasn't. Although if you remove these, you could zip tie the receiver pack in here. What do you guys think? I don't know if I want to zip tie the receiver pack in there, to be honest with you. I like the AA's. I'm gonna look for a AA tomorrow holder. And the receiver will have to be taped or hot glued over here. That's normally how these work, right? The RS4 would have had a position over here. I would say pretty successful build so far. Pretty good install. Let's get the fuel line back. You know, it's a good idea, a fuel filter. I gotta order a fuel filter. These old tanks do not have fuel filters. Never forget, you need fuel filters. Looking pretty tight. Looking pretty tight, I must say. I'm gonna look at your comments right here. Harlem goes, looking good. Thank you, bro. John Hunter, so will a fuel filter restrict fuel flow? No, it's very, very minimal. Like the engine will never pull that much fuel that you got to worry about restriction. It's not, you know, it's not a Chevy 454. That's not gonna happen. Yeah, you could even check yourself. Like you know, just put a fuel filter in line, like blow some water through it. You'll see it's never gonna be even close to that. Thanks, man, off the guy. Yeah, I got this engine in pretty bad condition. The other one that came off, right? This was the stock connecting rod, and in case anybody missed it, I'll show it to you all again. That is the original 2.5 from this chassis. I was lucky. I happened to have an average 3.3. I wouldn't say a good 3.3, but like an average 3.3. And once again, the reason I went with this engine is because it was already set up to run this exhaust. And the gasket seems good. The dynamite pipe seems good. The pressure fitting seems good. So for me to go out of my way to swap it just for, like, you know, brand specificity is really not a good idea. Wheels suck. Suspension seems okay. That's it. Oh, you know what else we can do? We can determine right now if why this screw is missing. Is the mount stripped? It looks like it's stripped on the inside right there. I'm gonna give us a real close look. I don't know. It looks like I see a couple threads in there, maybe deep in, but it looks stripped. Integrity RC, man, good luck. Hopefully you get that Slayer tomorrow. It looks stripped. So let me see. I'm gonna test fit a screw. These are just like basic 2.5 screws, so really nothing crazy. I should be able to use, just for test purposes, this right here. We're about to find out if it's stripped. It probably is stripped. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? There are some threads at the end. Nah, it's usable. Nah, this is usable. Yeah, I think we can get away with it. I don't know how deep the screw will go. This screw might be too long. But I'm thinking if I cut it, oh shit, it's almost at the end. Oh, that's not too bad. I mean, it sticks out a lot. Obviously, it's not the right screw, but we know that deep down, it's not stripped. That's not bad. I'm going to leave it for now, just for temporary purposes. So there definitely is some tension there. It's definitely not 100% stripped. Let me check the other ones. This one's real tight. This one's real tight. So they're all real tight. That one's real tight. That one's real tight too now. I'm going to leave it how it is. Obviously, it needs like a flathead screw. But it's pretty good. Integrity RC, yes, Slayers are still sold brand new. They're some of the best RCs out there. Not too bad. Next up, I'll do some wire management, and by tomorrow, this will be buttoned up, everybody. So what do you think? Let's bring this video to a conclusion. Its desired result. Was this a success or what? I think it was. I think it was. I mean, you know, there's a couple shortcuts, but I'll fix those later. So these wheels are too small. We're not getting the correct ride height. The ride height is really, really low right now. With like proper, you know, taller touring car wheels, this would be better. I'll have to get some touring car wheels. The foams are quite good, but, you know, they're destroyed as well. These appear to be staggered. The rear is a little bit fatter. Pizza Nitro goes, that Traxxas hybrid looking good. Thank you, man. What matters is we have good gear mesh. Because on these old models, you really don't want to get into bad gear mesh, bad engine mounting, because good luck finding these gears. You could usually find the first speed gear, but finding the second speed gear is going to be a problem. So I would say that clutch bell could use 2 Traxxas Teflon washers. I see now why that person put those 2 big washers before the flywheel. You see that? Because the clutch bell doesn't stick out far enough. That makes total sense now. I'm just reading some of your comments over here. So what do you guys think? A positive result on this RS4 or what? I know people wanted to see the T15 go in, but the T15 itself is not the best engine. This particular one, I might eventually get another RS4, and you know, if that one comes with a proper exhaust header, like a small block side exhaust, I'll use it. But this particular one, you know, getting a side exhaust header is going to cost me more than a gallon of nitro in this case. You know what I mean? And don't worry about it. This one's a little seized, actually. Oh, I can barely spin it over. It's so tight. And by tight, I mean it barely moves. Now the RS4 has been relatively, hopefully made great again. If I'm feeling a little bit better tomorrow, I will fire this bad boy up. Well, guys, I'm going to be here for about 2 more minutes. If you appreciate what I do for the channel, please let me know. Don't forget to become a sickening channel member. That would be incredible as well. Or renew, of course. Michael Sucha, thank you, man. I'm happy to have you all here. John Hensley, great comment, goes, Nitro has always been great. That's a good way of looking at it. That's a good way of looking at it. Texas Hill goes, good work. Thank you, bro. So, I just wanted to let you know, Texas Hill, bro, I sent you the link to those engines. Those are very good GS racing engines. I was actually thinking of putting that in here, but the way this is already set up to run like the Traxxas header, it was just easier for me to go with like I would say halfway junk 3.3 that I had. Not fully junk, halfway junk. But there should be a proper ripper there to Lotus 420 and off Nagai, you guys. You know, back then, this would have had what, like, well, this was a kit. So basically, people put in the HPI 12K12 in it, which was a Nova Mega engine, basically, like a Nova 12, but uglier and still expensive. The 3.3 modern day spec is still a very good engine for what people would have run back then, right? Plus, we have the benefit of a pull start. Let's check it out. Let's spin it over. Oh, yeah. Oh, we got compression, guys. You hear that? Oh, yeah. We got good compression. Not perfect, but I would say very good. Probably 75% okay. All right, one more. Compass RC, thanks, man. All you guys, thank you for being here. If you didn't have a chance to check out today's video, I would appreciate if you gave it a little bit of a look. In fact, I will put a link here. It's a very good video featuring Nitro Gang Mike and a Losi. We went for a ride in a turbo. All right? A ride in a turbo. Not even joking. We hit the turbo in the tunnel, too. Yeah, so I'm going to give you a link to my recent video today. Not much viewership, so I think going forward, we're not going to see Losi anymore. It's unfortunately, it's not there. You know, it's just not there. That was the same Losi that I unboxed and broke in on the channel about 3 years ago. Monte Cristo, thank you, man. Yeah, so my buddy Mike wound up selling it as a roller. The guy wanted to convert it to like an electric truggy. Whatever. He was, you know, the guy was convinced that the Losi 8 truggy converted to electric was better than Arma. Gotta tell you, I'm not a fan of electric conversions, but at least he prefers to start with a Nitro. All right, my dudes, that's about it. Thank you so much. I'm going to go make myself some chicken soup. You all have a good night. Stay safe. Stay real. Don't let the negative people out there troll you and trick you and convince you of things that aren't true. Truth matters. And Nitro matters. Everybody have a good night.